On today's Glory Days show, we continue with the 2016 baseball extravaganza as we provide you with coverage of teams from around the league.
3 more correspondents will join us today to talk about their teams and their chances as baseball is back in business.
Back in business, baby. Jerry Schwarzman will join us to talk about the White Sox. Trey Looney will talk about the Astros. And a new correspondent, Chris Williams, will join us from California to talk about the Oakland A's.
And we'll talk about the Mets and Yankees and anything else we feel like talking about as the best hour of your sports week is coming up right now. Inravio.com. Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, April 9th, 2016, and you are watching The Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani, and this is my good friend, the slightly under the weather Bruce Ulrich. Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz behind the glass, and you are joining us on the Inravio TV network, where we stream live from Studio C right here in the great state of New York. Good morning.
I don't think I should be here today.
Do we have a Michael Jackson mask that I could wear today for the rest of the show? Little sick, my friend.
I am not feeling too good. Not feeling too good, but we'll get through the show. I'm a trooper.
I'm sure you are, but are you contagious?
I hope not. For your sake.
This is, by the way, this is what my mother calls doctor weather.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good weather to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Because we went, 2 weeks ago, we were what? We were in the 70s. Then we went down, then we went back up a little bit. Now
the Yankee game the other night, we were playing in 39-degree weather or something. It's not baseball weather.
And now we're talking about possibly snow tonight.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, well.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I hope not. I'm getting sick of it. I want to wear short sleeves again.
All in good time. I had this fear, because we had such a mild winter, that the winter was going to stick around a little bit longer, and that's what we have right now.
But didn't the groundhog saw his shadow?
Groundhog was smoking.
That
weed,
means that that means that by sometime in the middle of March we should have had nice weather.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of April.
True.
Just about.
That's true. So, we could talk about anything we want to. So here's what I want to
Here's
what I want to talk about.
What?
The NHL regular season ends this weekend.
Yes, it does.
And, the playoffs start. We'll have to have Pete on next week to start talking about that. The teams in the West have been decided. I'm not sure about the pairings yet because there's a couple of teams that have the same amount of points, so 107, Dallas and St. Louis. But in the East, we don't know who the second wild card is going to be.
No,
could be Philadelphia, could be Boston's Boston leading right now.
Right. And it could be Detroit. Yep. I don't think Detroit's been eliminated.
No, Detroit is in, I think.
They've been like...
Detroit is in.
Is Detroit already in?
Detroit is already in.
They've been in the playoffs like 85 years in a row.
Yep. Not 85, but it's a lot of years. It's a lot of years for sure. But, then we talk about the pairings, because the pairings have not been decided. And actually, in the East, like I say, we don't know who's going to be. It's going to be Boston. It's going to be Philadelphia. We also don't know who's going to finish third in the division. It's going to be the Islanders or it's going to be the Rangers. Right now, the Islanders are ahead. They're tied in points, but by game in hand, they're listed higher in the standings.
Right. And I don't like the playoff, the way they do the seeding.
Well, yeah, it winds up being, it's always the top three from each, so they have two conference, brackets,
right.
So, and I hear what you're saying, because, a couple of weeks ago, it was looking like it's going to be the Rangers in second and the Islanders in third. Pittsburgh went past all of us. The Rangers fell behind, or they tied with the Islanders right now.
The thing that I don't like, and what I didn't understand till the other day, until my son Kevin corrected me.
Yeah.
was that I understand that the Metropolitan and the
whatever these two divisions are.
Isn't it amazing we don't know the names of the division?
Atlantic? I don't know.
The Atlantic and the Metropolitan Division.
Yeah.
Okay. The two teams that win those divisions go 1 and 2, depending on their standing, the points.
Right. That's right.
The two wild cards go 7 and 8.
Yeah. And the wild cards don't have to be from the same division.
Right. Doesn't matter. Whoever the two wild cards are. So therefore, 1 plays 8 and 2 plays 7.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But that leaves the second and third place team from each division
playing each other,
which I don't like.
Wow. Why not?
Because I'd rather have them 3, 4, 5, and 6 than have 3 plays 6 and 4 plays 5, based on your points. Because I just don't like that. What's the purpose of having the points?
Well,
so now you've got the Islanders.
You want to win the division.
No, understood. But you win the division, you're getting number one.
Too bad. You didn't win a division.
But you're getting a number 1 or number 2 seed.
Yeah.
So if you're in a better division, like the Metropolitan Division is, the 2 team and the 3 team.
Yeah, you're right.
Both have more
Detroit
points.
Is in with 93 points.
Right.
Detroit is automatically in. The Islanders have 99 and the Rangers do, and they're fighting about who's going to be that first wild card.
Right, and I understand it. And
that wasn't where I was going with the story.
Don't like it.
Where I was going with is the Ranger fans, after the Islanders swept the Rangers for the first time in franchise history.
Right.
The Ranger fans are saying, "Oh, this is not bad because now we're going to play the Penguins." You know, we didn't care if we won that game or not.
The Panthers.
Panthers, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what bothers me about that whole attitude? Is that if there's anything, if you know hockey, you know that hockey is, other than maybe basketball, if you have a Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay? Hockey is really one of the only sports where a single player can dominate an entire series.
And you're talking about the goalie.
I'm talking about the goalie.
Okay.
And when you talk about a great goalie that could dominate a series, Roberto Luongo is way up on the top of the list.
That's true. That's
true. So I don't care how bad your team is playing. I don't care what's going on. If you got a guy like a healthy Roberto Luongo for the playoffs, I don't want to play that team.
Yeah.
And granted, Pittsburgh is the hottest team in the league.
They are, but Pittsburgh also doesn't have the number 1 goalie either.
No.
And this guy's never played in the playoffs.
Their number one goalie, who they say still might be okay, he's a little... because he's had a concussion.
Fleury, you talking about?
Yeah, Fleury had a concussion. And who knows when you're coming back from a concussion.
Yep.
You know? And I'm not saying... Listen to me. This is what I want to do if I'm a hockey team. I want to be playing well.
Yeah, I want to be healthy.
I want to be healthy, which the Islanders are not.
Yeah.
But I want to be playing well going into the playoffs.
For sure.
Because the last 3 years that the Islanders were in the playoffs, they did not play well in their last couple of games.
They stumbled to the finish line.
Right. They stumbled a couple of times. So I want them to be playing well going into the playoffs. And then, you know what? Whoever the team is you're playing, you are playing to win the most games.
I think it bothered me on another level too. Is that why would you ever throw a game anyway? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I always think about Herman Edwards. He goes, "You play to win the game."
Exactly right.
I mean,
that's exactly right.
So we didn't care. We didn't want to win that game. As you said, the goalie is the big thing, though. Lundqvist got pulled in that game, man. That's what I'd be worried about if I was a Ranger fan.
Isn't that the second time he got pulled against the Islanders?
Yeah, I think so.
So you know what? I hope you win your series. I hope the Islanders win their season, and then we're going to play each other.
But what you're against as far as the seeding goes, okay? This could be an Islander Ranger conference championship.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get paired. They're going to go in different divisions. So the only way they're going to meet is for the big cheese. The right to go to the Stanley Cup.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See, I used to know that.
Yeah.
I used to know how the playoffs work. You know what? I think the reason I don't know is we haven't had Pete Torgerson on enough to talk about hockey.
Where is Pete?
He's hiding right now. Although the Boston Red Sox have gotten off to an okay start.
Have they?
Yeah. They won 3 out of 4, or at least they split their first couple of games.
Okay. It's early.
They're certainly not over.
Mets have only played 3 games.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a minute.
All right.
Okay. Yesterday was opening day.
Yep.
Obviously, the Mets always do well on opening. You know, they're like 30.
They have a great record.
But they're 32-14 since 1971. because they lost 8 of their first 9
We
games.
went to a lot of those in a row, too, and we
Yeah.
always came home happy.
In more ways than one. But the home opener, it was cool. You know, they raised the banner. They raised the banner. Rusty Staub,
Right.
Edgardo Alfonso,
Fonzie.
and John Franco
Yep.
were there to help raise the banner, which was kind of cool. Again, I love playing against the Phillies. It's like the 10th or 9th or 10th time
they're the
that
Mets'
they've played
personal
against the
punching
Phillies.
bag right now, you know.
They've won 14 out of
Yeah.
19 games
Yeah.
against them last year.
Yeah.
You know, but did you watch the opening day game?
I did not.
The Kansas City game?
Oh, yeah,
Sunday
I did.
night?
I
Okay.
did.
As soon as the Kansas City pitcher gets on the mound, he's got the wrong hat.
Oh, yeah.
I'm screaming and hollering because I said, you can't have a different hat than everyone. He was wearing the spring training hat. Okay.
I can't say I noticed that. That was covered?
Oh yeah. And they started talking about it about halfway through the inning because they showed the
I think those,
Kansas City bench.
those announcers nauseate me. Okay, so I think I probably had the music on. You know,
It would have been a better idea.
Yeah.
But then when he came out for the second inning, he had the regular hat on. Right?
Oh, really? So let him pitch the
Well,
first
they
inning?
talked about it, but I said, this is where you need a guy like Bobby Valentine. You know what Bobby Valentine would have done? Bobby Valentine would have waited until after he finished his warm-ups, and just when the umpire goes, play ball, Bobby Valentine would slowly walk out of the thing, and he'd go to the umpire.
Yeah, you know what he'd be wearing?
What?
Those glasses.
Right? And then, you know, so now you got this guy who's all amped up, ready to pitch, and now he's got to stop. He's got to wait till somebody gets him another hat. It may not even be his hat, right? And then that's gamesmanship. That's because nobody knows the rules of baseball better than
Bobby Valentine.
Than Bobby Valentine.
Yep.
But you know, it's good. A good start for the Mets. You know, we're going to be in virtually every game.
Tell you what
this
bothered
year.
me in that first game. Jonas Cespedes dropping a fly ball, man. That's inexcusable.
How can they?
I mean, they really should be 3-0. They shouldn't be 2-1. They should have won that game.
They should have won that game.
But that's the Royals.
Yeah.
The Royals exploit every mistake that you make.
But the thing was Syndergaard, man. Oh my goodness, he was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I did get a chance to see him. My mom came home, so I stopped by to see her. And, of course, the game was on. So I turned on the 7th inning, and I think it was the 7th inning.
6th inning.
Where he got the bases loaded. And
He struck out that guy on 3 pitches. Eric Hosmer.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about that one, right? No human being could have hit that ball.
Even you know, Keith Hernandez. Keith Hernandez will never admit that there's a pitcher that he can't hit.
Of course.
Right? He'll never admit that. And after the game, John Heyman from the Daily News saw him in the elevator, and he says to Hernandez, "You think you could have hit that pitch?" And Hernandez was just real quiet. He says, and then he just said, "No." So for Keith Hernandez to admit that he might not have been able to hit it, that's good. So you know what's going to happen the next start, right? He's either going to take a line drive off the head and be out for 3 months, or his arm's going to fall off. That's just the way
we got to hope
happens.
that what's going on with DeGrom is nothing too serious. I mean, they pulled him early, precautionary. You know, he had a lat.
Right.
He's got a lat problem.
Yeah, the same exact words that they used for Steven Matz last year.
And he was out for 2 months.
And he missed 2 months.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I say we get rolling here, man.
All righty.
We're just getting started here on Glory Days show. It's time to get back to our correspondence reports. We'll talk to good friend Jerry Schwarzman from the Windy City to talk about the Chicago White Sox. Waiting on deck is the always entertaining Trey Looney from Houston, talk about the Astros, and Chris Williams is getting up early in California, waiting for take his turn talking about the Athletics. Stay with us. You're watching Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. Coming right back.
60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Inravio TV network. All the buzz in baseball this offseason has revolved around the city of Chicago, as everyone has been talking about the Cubs' chances of finally breaking their streak of not winning the World Series since 1908. But there's another team in Chicago that seems to always play second fiddle to the Cubbies, kind of like the Mets status when the Yankees are around, even when they are better than them. Unfortunately, this is probably not the year that the White Sox will take over the hearts of the fans in the second city. Our first guest plays second fiddle to no one, except maybe his wife, Penny, when it comes to general knowledge about music, entertainment, horse racing, and, of course, White Sox baseball. Please welcome back to the program the always entertaining and highly neurotic Jerry Schwarzman. Jerry, how are you?
Hey, fine, Paul, fine, Disco. I send you greetings and salutations from His Excellency.
I was waiting for that.
So we haven't talked in a while. How you been?
Hey, we're sneaking by. We're shoveling out from under about an inch of snow, which is all you need is a broom, actually. And we'll play baseball. The question is, have we built the Cubs and the Sox properly to play in snow all season this way? You got to get a special kind of ball player for that.
I guess they're not wearing shorts today.
Yeah, that's, exactly.
Is it a night game or an afternoon game?
It's an afternoon game. But how about a couple of diversions?
Sure.
Real quick ones. What are the rules in zebra baseball?
The what? Say it again.
What are the rules in zebra baseball?
Zebra baseball?
I don't know.
3 strikes and you're out.
You know, we need a rim shot.
You know, actually, I was thinking about that beforehand too. All right, so what's the second one?
What happens to baseball players who go blind?
Wait a minute.
Repeat the question.
Baseball players that go blind.
That go blind. They become umpires.
Umpires.
They become umpires.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. No rim shot for that one.
All right. We're
Greetings and salutations, Jerry.
We're 1 for 1. You got a tiebreaker?
I actually do.
Okay.
Once when Bush was president, he went to a game and they asked him if he wanted to throw out the first pitch. He agreed and tossed Laura out onto the field.
No.
Where's that rim shot?
Okay.
That we need a rim job for. All right, man.
Baseball.
Let's talk baseball.
Well, let's talk Chicago.
Let's
first,
talk Chicago,
okay?
yeah.
You know, the rock and roll, I know Jerry's a big music guy.
Yes.
So, and he hails from the great city of Chicago, the Windy City. And one of this year's nominees in the 2016 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame hails from Chicago, has the same name as the city. The Chicago, it started out as Chicago Transit Authority.
Right.
And now Chicago. So, Jerry, are you a big Chicago fan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to
It's a
be.
great city for music. I'm waiting to
Yeah.
escort you guys around and get you in trouble here. But, yeah, there's always a tune in the air here. It just continues to flourish. And frankly, I don't know how all the venues can keep all the fans there, but ticket prices remain very steep, and fan support remains high. Great place. Great place.
You know, I've never. Did you ever see Chicago?
I did. I've seen them a couple of times. And they're still popular. They still tour, and I believe they're going to be coming through the city this summer at the Outdoor Festival.
Yeah, I think they might be touring with Earth, Wind, and Fire, as a matter of fact.
Well, now that would be a
That's
show.
a great, yep.
Did they perform last night? Because last night was the ceremony at the Barclays Center.
I don't know. Deep Purple went in. I have a Cheap Trick too, but you know who didn't perform?
Who?
NWA, man. There's some controversy about that because they say they weren't given a proper, I guess, treatment to be able to stage their show or something. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
They continue to perform. It's amazing how long these guys continue to stay hot. I saw The Who for the first time this summer. Two leads there, 72 and 70. These guys run around like teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, it's incredible. Just incredible. Townsend has 90% hearing loss. Daltrey is 72 and sounds as good as he ever sounded.
And he had throat problems. He had throat problems. He needed to get it surgically repaired.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And somehow these guys, they're superhuman beings. How they can continue to be so energetic and continue to show their talent so well, so deep in life.
It gives
more
us
drugs you get.
it gives us all hope to be 70.
That's right. I haven't peaked yet.
And speaking of 70, I think that's how many wins the Chicago White Sox are going to have this year. Jerry, it's not looking like a very good year for them, is it?
Well, they are significantly better. You know, the big story on the South Side White Sox up till the last 24 hours has been Adam LaRoche's and his son.
Yeah.
You've heard that.
Right.
With the arrangement that his 14-year-old son, with the deal that his father pitched with the White Sox, got his own locker, got his own uniform, was able to go anywhere with the team. Locker, field, trips during spring practice, and then finally
shower.
to dial it down.
Did he have his own shower?
I'm quitting. Yeah, I'm quitting. Now, it was a big story. A lot of people, sided with Kenny Williams saying, what's this kid doing? Adam Eaton got on a program and said the kid's a leader in the locker room, 14 years old. Now, me, looking at Adam LaRoche, the senior, the father, hitting 212 or 14 home runs last year, I wanted the kid to stay because I wanted the kid to bat for Adam.
Very good. Very good.
Well,
where's that rib shot again, man?
You know what I think, though? After when the story broke, my first thought was, oh my God, what are they talking about? What could this kid possibly be? You know, what's the big deal? And then I heard about it, and I said, you know what? It might be, if you're a locker room is a sacred place, okay? And I think maybe it might have been that a couple of the players were a little uncomfortable with it because they couldn't really be themselves, so to speak. You have to kind of edit yourself.
Yeah.
You have to, you have to have some sort of decorum.
It's cramping my style, man.
But I don't know if they might have casually mentioned it to the general manager. But then I don't think anyone would ever own up to it. No one's ever going to say, "Oh yeah, I thought it was a bad idea."
It's an unnamed source.
But I think that maybe he put them in. You could certainly do that, but I think more on a limited basis. It wasn't that they wanted to exclude him from the locker room or anything, but I think it got to be just a little too much, and the players. I think the players really did complain.
And I think so. I think that's probably right. I mean, the kid doesn't belong there. The kid's homeschooled. He should be hanging around his buddies. And the Sox should focus on becoming a better team.
Right.
His father, though, walked away from a $13 million contract this year to retire. So it's given the Sox $13 million in payroll to continue to try to make moves to improve. They're a better team, and without LaRoche, they're a better team because the players that the Sox have gotten from the Washington Nationals between Adam Dunn and Adam LaRoche, I mean, they're having fun in D.C. on the White Sox expense. But between them, Todd Frazier, who's their big power hitter, and he's the real deal.
Yeah, no doubt.
Brett Laurie, who they got from Oakland to cover second. Much better team. And, of course, they got Jimmy Rollins.
Jimmy Rollins. I know. When I saw that, I said, oh, my God.
By the way, did you know who they traded? You know who they traded Brent Laurie for?
For Peter Laurie.
Almost. The guy's last name was also Laurie.
Really?
Laurie.
Really?
They traded a Laurie for a Laurie.
Right.
But you know what? The thing is, they have a great pitcher. They have a great stud starting pitcher. Chris Sale. Right? He, in June, in 44 innings, he struck out 75 guys.
Wow.
That was a pretty good June. You know, and they got 3 left-handers on their rotation.
Well, they got Quintana. He's their second starter, and they got Latos, who they picked up in the off season, who pitched real well. Between Latos and Laurie, they got the market cornered on ink, on tattoos. They're really covered. Problem is they don't have a fifth starter. Tanks, who was their big guy after a great year 4 years ago, signed a $65 million contract. He's in the last year of that contract, being paid $13 million. And they actually traded for a catcher, Avila, who they got from Detroit. And Avila, when he came in, told Danks and everybody, well, Danks was tipping off his pitches, and he should change his motion to cover it. And he's done so, and Danks' first out yesterday got shelled 7-1. So I guess the good news is it could have been 14-1, but since he's hiding his pitches, he only got bombed 7-1. So they're missing a fifth starter, and that's going to be a problem unless they do something with that $13 million. But the rest of the 4 guys are solid. They're solid. Rodon is a horse. And he's in his second year out of North Carolina State, and he went right to the pros.
Well, their pitching is going to be okay. David Robinson, I know he had 7 blown saves last year, but he's going to save enough games for you. I think what they really needed to do, and I think they did do this, was improve that offense. I mean, you know, they were last in the American League in runs scored. They were last in home runs. And realistically, that park is a hitter's park. You know, what they don't call it the new Comiskey Park, right? It's got a regular name.
Right, Cellular Field.
Yeah. You know, but they've had 3 consecutive...
The stadium also known as, formerly known as Comiskey Park.
But they've had 3 consecutive years where they were under 500. Is this Robin Ventura's last chance?
It is. It's close. He's got to do something this year. I think Robertson will get some help because Nate Jones is back from his elbow surgery, and will give him a little more room to work. And the Sox, if they can get an offense going, will change the whole perspective of the bullpen. Instead of coming in and trying to struggle to keep a game close, they'll come in to try to keep a game a win going.
So is this a? I'm sorry. Is this a playoff team?
I think it's going to fall a little short.
That ain't going to happen. Okay.
Well, shall we find out? Let's see what Sammy Stone says. Sammy Stone.
Yo.
Tell me the future.
Okay, ask me.
Will the Chicago White Sox make the playoffs?
Maybe, maybe not. Nobody move.
Yeah.
I like that one. Nobody move. Okay. Jerry, we got to go, man. Great talking to you. Let's take another break here on the Glory Day Show.
Fellas. Always a pleasure.
All right, Jerry, we'll talk to you in a couple weeks when we start the Triple Crown.
You got it.
All right.
All right, man. Any quick favorite for the Triple Crown, real fast? You get one horse. Pick them right now.
Too early to tell, but the big story in Chicago, just quickly on the north side with the Cubs, is Schwarber is out for the season.
Yes, yes. That is true.
That's the big
That
deal.
wasn't the question,
Okay.
though. Question
right,
was
man.
Sammy Stone. Okay, the answer is Sammy Stone.
All righty, Jerry. Thanks a lot.
We're going to take a break. When we
Take
come
care,
back,
fellas.
we'll be...
Love you guys.
All right,
care.
man. Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right.
All right, we'll take another break
are
here.
We done now?
Are we
Okay,
done?
okay.
Can we move on?
Right.
I got to get to this, right? Okay, take a break here in the 2016 Glory Days Baseball Extravaganza. And when we get back, we'll head down to Texas and hear from Trey Looney. Did we get the Skype going? On Skype about the Houston Astros. Waiting on deck is Chris Williams. So stay with us. You're watching The Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco only on the Inravio TV network. We're coming right back. I love talking to Jerry.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com. For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Inravio TV network.
It's always been important to us to have music a part of our lives, part of our children's lives. At Village Music Shop, Bonnie and Chuck have not only made it possible for our kids to learn and understand and read music and enjoy playing a musical instrument, but they've also made it fun.
I really like coming here. I like coming to Village Music because everybody here is nice.
And they've inspired some creativity and imagination and taught them discipline. And along the way, they've gotten some self-confidence, really been like a part of our family.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com. For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Welcome back to the Gordy Show with Bruce Disco here on the Inravio TV network. After a long and frustrating rebuilding process, the Houston Astros managed to complete their first winning season since 2008 and appeared in the postseason for the first time since 2005.
In a long time, man.
After coming to Yankee Stadium and shutting out the Yankees in the wild card game, they took on the Kansas City Royals, they took on the Kansas City Royals in the AL Divisional Series.
Yep, five-game series. They were up 2-1. They were up 2-1. And they lost the last
You know
two
what?
games.
But they blew a 4-run lead in the eighth inning, going into the eighth inning.
It's got to bring a fresh wound out there.
But they've got the reigning Cy Young Award winner, started Dallas Keuchel, and a revamped bullpen with the fireballer Ken Giles. And the Astros seem primed for a postseason run.
They didn't say Gesundheit.
Gesundheit.
Thank
you. Our next guest is going to tell us all about it. Okay, he's been a frequent contributor to this program, and we're going to see his cherubic face on Skype. Trey, how are you? He's talking, but nothing is coming out. Try it again. Oh, there you go.
We go. Hey.
That's not you. That might be us. How are you, man?
There we go.
All righty. So how's things down in Houston?
Things are going well, I think. I think we're looking up. So
you had other things on your mind. The Final Four was down there this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was just this week, right?
Last week.
Last week?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Was it last week? Was it this week?
I thought it was just this
The
week.
Final Four? Was that down by you guys?
I'm getting a lot of feedback here on the line.
Oh, okay.
The key can't hear us.
You can't hear us?
I can hear you now.
Okay. All right, cool. Anyway, so let's talk about Houston. First of all, you guys came into Yankee Stadium last year. You won a playoff game. You won that wild card game. You had a 2-1 lead against Kansas City. The bullpen was your issue. Tell us a little bit about Brian Giles. What do you know about him?
94, 95 miles per hour, and he's got a really live fastball. He hasn't been spotting it very well throughout the spring, and that's the reason he's been demoted to the setup role instead of the closer. But I think he'll probably find his stride here in a couple of months, and our bullpen's going to be a little bit stronger about it. I'm more worried about the back end of our rotation. We've got 4 guys that essentially are a 3 or 4 starter, and we need one of those guys to step up to become a number 2 or number 1 type starter.
Well, we're going to actually see Vince Velasquez tonight here in New York. He's pitching against the Mets tonight. This is a young kid. He's a rookie last year for Houston. He was part of the Giles trade. So we're going to get a chance to see that. But let's talk about your hitting for a second. This is a team that hits the ball well, don't you think?
Well, yes. The obvious thing about our lineup is that all these guys can mash. We should have around 7 guys that will get 15-plus home runs. We have Carlos Correa, who easily should be looking at 30-plus home runs this year. It would really be nice for them to cut down on the strikeouts and have a little bit more on base percentage, but we'll have to work through that as the season goes. But this team's made for crooked numbers, and And Tyler White too. He's already got 2 home runs to start the season off. He's a phenomenal story, a 33rd round draft pick, and he's really stroking the ball to start the season. So.
I was Googling these guys, and they had all these different T-shirts, and one T-shirt was "Gotta Believe."
You gotta believe. Hey, isn't that
not
ours?
you gotta believe, just gotta believe. But I said, that's the New York Mets, man. That's Tug McGraw.
Are you worried at all about this team? Because you don't seem as enthusiastic as you were.
You gotta believe, man.
But you don't seem as enthusiastic about them as you were last year.
This team, it's been a slow start, and again, I think the back end of the rotation is still a worry. But they're going to put up some runs, and I think that they'll be just fine once we kind of start getting into the next month of play. Again, they're a young team, and they got the first taste of the postseason this last year. That experience should bode well for them, just like it did for the Kansas City Royals the year before. So I do think that they're going to be just fine. They're not going to take teams by surprise like they did last year.
Right. Well, that's what they say about the Mets too.
Right.
The interesting thing I saw is the Mets opened against the Royals, the team that eliminated them in the postseason, and the Yankees opened against Houston, the team that eliminated them too. Right. It's the way it worked.
The Astros kind of surprised me last year. I mean, obviously, just like what happened with the Mets, I think they surprised a lot of people. And they started out really good.
Yeah.
They were a little mediocre towards the end. But they also, by the way, they have a great outfield. They got 3 center fielders.
Cargo, right? You got Cargo out there.
How is Carlos Gomez?
I actually like him. He plays very exuberantly. He is a little flashy, and I know that the old school pundits will say that they don't like the hot dogging, but he's just out there having fun, and I think that's one of the big things about this team is that they like to have fun, and if they can have fun and win baseball games, well, let's go.
They I don't know about this AL West. I mean, I don't really think that everybody in the AL West got better this year. You know what I mean?
I know nothing about the AL West. So.
Well, the Astros came in second last year to Texas, but not by much, right? What were you, 2 games behind Texas last year?
It was, I believe, 1 game, and they won the tiebreaker, of course, for the wild card with the Angels. I think it's going to be a very, very close race again this year, with only 5 teams out of the AL obviously going to the postseason. I'm thinking that we're going to be probably looking at the wild card again, unless the division plays down to a level that they did, particularly towards the end of last season. So,
do you think that'll happen? Do you think they could win this division?
I think it's possible. It's going to depend again on the back end of that rotation and identifying somebody that's going to come out and win 19, 20 games besides Dallas. Keuchel.
I think we need to ask Sammy Stone.
Oh, shall we? All right. I was going to try and avoid that, but if you brought it up, let's see what the Stone.
I almost hope for a bad prediction.
All right, Sammy Stone.
Yo.
Tell me the future.
Don't move.
Will the Astros be back in the postseason?
Maybe not.
Same answer. This guy is it.
Is that the only thing you say?
Don't move.
Is there a Samuelina Stone that we can use or something like that? So, Sammy Stone doesn't know. You're not sure. We're not sure.
I say yes.
So, all right, here we go. Gun to your head. They making the playoffs?
Don't move. Yes. Yes, they will. I think they will.
Trey, what about you? Gun to the head. Are they making the playoffs?
Yes, they will.
Okay. Now, you don't want to do the wild card again because there's just too much that could go wrong.
No, it's 1 game for all the
I would
marbles.
prefer the division, and I think any team would. But I think that they'll give it a good run. So.
All righty, man. I hope for your sake. Do you have your, and I love your, I've seen pictures of you with your striped Astros jersey, which is my personal favorite.
It's my personal favorite too. It's at the Cleaners right now.
Of course.
I'm looking forward to going to the game next week versus the Royals. So.
All right.
All righty, man.
Good talk to you, Trey.
We'll talk to you, Trey. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks for having me on, guys. Have a good
Bye-bye.
one. Okay?
All right, and there's a little picture of Trey with his Astros jersey.
There you go.
All righty, so we're going to take another break here.
When we come back, we'll be going out to Oakland, right?
Yep.
We'll be waking somebody up.
We are going to
Chris
wake
Williams.
up. We're going to wake up Chris Williams, and he's going to give us a little report on his beloved Oakland A's.
Okay.
I don't know. Is it always beloved?
It's not. I don't think that team is beloved by anybody. To tell you the truth.
I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco only on the Inravio TV network. We're coming right back. So should you.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit Hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco here on the Inravio TV network. The Oakland A's were in the postseason for 3 consecutive years following the 2014 season, and general manager Billy Beane was promoted to VP of baseball operations. But something funny happened on the way to the Forum as they finished dead last with the worst record in the American League in 2015, winning just 68 games. First, they lost Josh Donaldson in the offseason, heading into 2015, and he went on to win the MVP with Texas. Then Beane made 9 trades involving 27 players and dealing 4 All-Stars. The result was the worst season in Beane's 18 years. So I guess there's nowhere to go but up for the 2016 Athletics. Up next is a new correspondent to the Glory Day Show from Tracy, California, which is near Oakland. He's a level 1 certified CrossFit instructor who also coaches boot camps. Hopefully he won't hurt us. Please welcome to the program a man that does not fear the beard, Chris Williams. Chris, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, good.
This is my friend Bruce is with me here, and welcome to the Glory Day Show.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, so tell us what's going on out there in California.
What's not going on out here? You know, it's a lot going on out here, guys. I mean, we got a young team that's looking to, I think, do a lot better this year than last year.
Well, they have to.
Yeah, well, you know.
You know, you guys have gotten kind of used to success out there. You know, it's hey, they made a movie about you, but you know, the thing about Oakland has always been a fairly successful franchise, but they do it in consecutive years. You know, they do it with a very low budget, and they seem to be able to continue their success year after year.
They also have those neighbors across the bay.
Yeah.
San Francisco Giants,
Right.
who always are. It's kind of like the Mets and the Yankees a little bit, I think. You know?
Yeah. Are you have you been an Oakland A's fan your whole life?
Yes, sir. Ever since I was a kid, so 30 years now, I've been an A's fan, and you know, you're right. It goes in waves. You know, it's kind of the whole if you get lemons, you make lemonade type situation. You just squeeze everything you can out of a winning situation, and then when Billy feels like it's done, he ships them off while the value's still high and brings in a bunch of young guys like he did recently. You got Sean Manaea getting ready to come up from AAA. You got Nunez and you know, Matt Chapman is probably my favorite and one I feel is really underrated in AA right now. I think he could be in the majors this year, the way he was playing in spring training. So, you know, for me, it was a wave. We had a great wave. We got rid of some guys. Josh Donaldson, obviously, maybe a little too soon.
Right.
And but I think, you know, you're looking at the top of the hill here in a few short years where I think we could be contending just like our friends over there on the other side of the bay.
Do they treat the A's and the Giants the same way that they treat the Mets and the Yankees here in New York? Are you guys like the second-class citizens?
Yeah, we're definitely the redheaded stepchild of.
Okay.
You know, especially with the Warriors being so successful, the Raiders getting better, you know, the Sharks always being in contention in hockey. The A's are kind of slowly become an afterthought. I mean, thanks to the winning 3 really great seasons we had in a row, we kind of got back into the minds of a lot of people. But for a while there, it was pretty dark if you were an A's fan.
So if you are an A's fan, give me some light at the end of the tunnel for this year. Who am I looking for this year to have a good year? Let's say I'm a fantasy player.
You know, Chris Davis, obviously, he's probably, I'm sure, pretty well known to fantasy at this point with over 20 home runs for Milwaukee 2 years in a row. Chris Coughlin's been playing really well to start the season, and I think if he sees enough playing time, he's going to have a really good year. But the guy everybody needs to pay attention to is Mark Hanna. If he can, when he was playing regular innings, regular days, he was looking to be a 20-25 home run guy. Plenty of power, plenty of just popping his bat. I think he could definitely hover around the 300 mark in his batting average. He's a guy I think you could see sneaking up on people's radars, kind of like Josh Reddick did in 2012.
So that's good.
I got to ask you one question, not related to baseball. Are you an Oakland Raiders fan? And do you go to are you part of the black hole contingent there?
I don't sit in the black hole very often, but yeah.
Okay.
Have you sat there? What's it like?
I've been known to partake. It's pretty calm, actually. It's just like any other football game, except you got a lot of guys who like to dress up, which is awesome.
What did you dress up as?
Flair to the stadium. Oh, I throw on every piece of Raiders gear I got. I mean, it depends on how cold and wet it is.
If you had a choice between a baseball or football game, would you say you're more of a football fan or a baseball fan?
Definitely baseball fan. I have season tickets to the A's.
Okay.
The Raiders, I'll go when I have time.
All righty. So what's going to happen with this team this year? Is this a playoff team? Is this a not playoff team?
We're sitting in that gray area in between. I think a lot of people have them pegged at 70, 75 wins. I'm a little more optimistic. I'm looking at 78, 80 wins with a plus or minus of about 5-6 wins. So I could see them hovering around that second wild card spot.
So we at least know that
we do a lot better with those one-run games.
We at least know that they're not a last place team this year.
They're not going to win 60. They're going to
absolutely
be more than 68 games this year.
All right. Since you're new to the program, we have a guy here.
We have a special guest.
There's a guy. His name is Sammy Stone, and he makes predictions for us. All right. So we're going to ask Sammy Stone about the A's not coming in last place. How's that for the question? All right. Let's ask him. Hold on a second. Sammy Stone. Sammy Stone.
I want my shades.
Sammy Stone.
That's right.
Tell me the future.
I speak English.
Sammy Stone.
You got him.
Tell me the future.
Hey, show some respect.
All right, he's got one more chance here because we're running out of time. Sammy Stone.
Good guess.
Tell me the future.
What, are you nuts?
He is. You know what? I don't want to do Sammy Stone anymore.
We should get Donald Trump to answer that question. It's going to be terrific. Don't worry about it.
Sam is pretty angry this morning.
I heard that. All right. Hey, Chris, thanks a lot for your help today, and good luck with the A's this year.
Thank you, sirs.
And,
I appreciate you having me on.
And we can, when we get around to our hockey thing, you want to talk about the Sharks?
Yeah, I could do that.
Cool.
All right, and
Very
and you can also talk about the Raiders when we get to football season. How's that for a deal?
I'm definitely ready for that one.
He's
all righty,
down,
man.
baby. He's down.
So we got an Oakland correspondent. Thanks a lot, Chris. We appreciate it. Hope you had some fun.
Thanks, fellas. Have a great day.
All righty, man. Thanks. You know, we are running out of time. Almost completely
We
done.
did. I think Jerry just threw us way off, man. We never recovered from Jerry.
We never recover from Jerry.
It was those jokes he was throwing in there, man, that killed us.
What do we got? How much time I got left? What do I got? 2 minutes? 3 minutes. All right, so what have we learned today?
We learned that we didn't keep to the script too much.
No, we didn't keep to the script too much. And you learned how difficult it is to talk on the show when you can't breathe.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know, we talked about a little bit about Oakland today. We talked about Chicago.
I'm sorry, I am focused on hockey right now, man. I really am.
And you know what? I think we're going to be turning. I mean, we've been talking about baseball now for a month, right? Yep. It'll be time to go to hockey next week.
Thank goodness.
I think it'll be ready. We got 2 more games with the Islanders.
Yep.
Right?
Today and tomorrow.
Okay. If the Rangers win, go ahead of the Islanders. Do the Islanders lose the last 2 games so they play the Panthers?
No, you always play to win.
Exactly.
You always play to win.
I just wanted to see if you were paying attention. Because I know that's what I learned today.
Herman Edwards, you play to win the game.
Herman Edwards is much of a...
I love Herman
people
Edwards.
make fun of him, you know.
I don't make fun of him.
It's just the way to go.
Yep. You play to win the game.
That's the only thing I could say. So what do you say we say our closing thank yous and get out of here?
I think that's a good idea.
All right, I'll say my closing thank yous. Ready?
Yes. Oh my God. Thanks to our producers, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work in making us look so good up here.
And thanks to all of our correspondents, our good pal Jerry Schwarzman from Chicago, Trey Looney from Houston, and thanks to Chris Williams for getting up early out in California to join us today to talk about the A's. And you can read baseball articles from Chris on the baseball site Around the Horn Talk, and you can read from Trey Looney also on the site from A View from the Bench. Of course, you can just follow all of our correspondents out on Facebook if you want, and I'm sure they will be your friends if you just ask very nicely.
And do that.
Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, putting up with this nonsense week after week and allowing us to bring you this type of quality program. And of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget, you can check out the Glory Days on-demand page at www.inravio.com, and you can watch any of our past shows or any of the other great shows on the Inravio TV network. The NHL playoffs begin this week. Both the Rangers and the Islanders are in the postseason again. Next week, we'll take a look at all the playoff matches, and hopefully we'll have our hockey maven, Pete Torgerson, to guide us through. And he'll be making his predictions. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe. See you next time.
Inravio.com. Inravio.com.